treat yourself like a golden retriever. Yes, I just said to treat yourself like a dog. You got to train yourself like a golden retriever. And I don't want you to get caught up on the training aspect of it, because I feel like a lot of people take this dog analogy and look at the training aspect. Like, oh, let me give myself a treat. Oh, let me give myself attention, and that'll train me. Yes, 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 of course. But what I'm talking about is if your dog has an accident all over the kitchen, all over the house, right? I've had this happen before. Do you hold a grudge against your dog for the next week, for the whole entire rest of the day even? No, not even for the next 5 minutes, because especially if the dog, like my dog was potty trained, and you knew, all right, this was a no-go situation. They must have had to go. Otherwise, they wouldn't have done it. Radical forgiveness is what I'm getting at here. Chase Hughes was going over this, and he says that basically these trauma loops that we hold on to, and Owen Cook talks a lot about this too, with the beach ball that we're holding down, trying to pretend like there's not a problem. It's taking our mental bandwidth away. It's taking your mental clarity, your focus out of the game. When you're in the middle of a basketball game, you can't be thinking about the mistake that you just made when you tried to, stop the point from getting shot and you couldn't. And now you're thinking about it. So now you're thinking about it right before you shoot, and then you hesitate and you miss. Same with fighting. If you think about the bad round, let's say you got knocked down last round, okay? Let's say you got knocked down to the ground, and like Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley, the first fight. Jake got knocked back into the ropes, and he was bleeding from the nose. Everyone thought this is the moment. He's gonna fold under pressure. He can't take it. This is the first time he's being pressured. And he's up against an experienced veteran, a UFC champion, Tyron Woodley. And what did Jake Paul do? He came back out and he continued fighting. He continued pressuring. He continued believing in himself, because I know he's a big advocate for that self-belief and that self-talk. So you have to have a good relationship with your self-talk. You can't rehearse negative self-talk and expect positive self-talk to show up in that situation when you need it. Even in regular daily life, when you don't feel like doing things, what voice are you more apt to listen to? It's going to be the voice that you feed most often. And especially if you see other people showing you examples of that, like if you see other people not working as hard as they could and not pushing themselves to those limits and stretching themselves to the limit so that they can break down, like when working out. If you, just like with working out, we'll stay with that analogy, if you stay around people that aren't working out, then you yourself are going to feel more prone to be okay with not getting those gains. Going back to the original portion of the video, right? Because we want to get progress, we want to get results, we want to change our lives so that we can live the reality that we're dreaming about, that we're daydreaming about all day long. You have to start with forgiving your past self for not knowing the solution that you know now. Maybe you still don't know the solution. Guess what? Forgive your current self for not knowing. Forgive all of it. You have to almost look at it as if it was all meant to happen that way. That way you could come to the understanding that you are at now. That doesn't give you the excuse to continue living that way. It is just to let you know that you can begin again now, and you need to drop the judgment of the past self, because if you bring that with you, you're not going to have enough energy to win that fight. You're up against a champion. You're up against life. And life is a champion at defeating humans when it comes to their chief aims. So that's another thing that Napoleon Hill was going on about. He says, your chief aim must be definite. You must have a definite chief aim, and you must repeat it until you become it. It must be embedded into your bones. For you to be able to do that, you got to be able to forgive yourself, because none of us are built like that to where we're going to be able to do it immediately. And especially, from where we're at now, you're not going to become the best version of yourself tomorrow. But the best version of yourself starts with those messy steps. So having the radical forgiveness allows you to take the messy steps because you're holding on to this perfect image of what you think it should look like. But the thing is, no one knows exactly what it looks like right away. You may have it in your brain, but you don't know what it looks like in this physical plane because if you did, you would already be doing it. So you have to fumble your way there. I mean, after the first couple of miles, you're going to really start getting a good pace because most people don't make it past that couple miles. They keep falling, and then they give up, and then they chill, and then they maybe try again, and they fall. And that's the cycle that they go through begrudgingly. Like Ty Lopez says, or Ralph Waldo Emerson, most men live lives of quiet desperation. And if you don't believe me, just look around at those people around you in your life and yourself. What life are you living? And what life are you quietly, desperately wishing that you could be living? It's out there, but you have to give yourself the permission to be imperfect. You have to give yourself permission to start. You have to give yourself permission to have fun. That's why they say the most important part, go out there and have some fun. Yes, you want to win the game, but if you win being stone cold when you're holding up the trophy, you won't feel anything inside. So, master feeling something inside when you have nothing, but knowing that it is on its way to you, knowing that you're destined for something good, for something great. If you can have that now, then you can all the more exude it when you do have it and help others to understand how they can do it as well. And then it becomes repetitious, not just a one-off where you can't explain it, but you're like, no, I earned this. Here's how I did it. Look at it from a different perspective for a moment. When you play a video game, do you get upset when you lose the game? Well, yeah, but wouldn't you be more upset if you just skimmed right through it and it was the easiest game and it took you an hour and a half and you're like, dang, I just spent $60 on this. I wanted a challenge. Obviously, all of us are going to disagree with this when we first hear it and be like, no, I would love life to be easy, like I got cheat codes. All right, I hear you. But let's reframe it. When you're in the video game, all right, and you die, you just get back to playing. What do? Well, you don't do the same move. You go in and you re-strategize. And then when you do beat it after the 50th time, or the 5th time if you're better at games than me, then you feel like a boss because you beat the boss. Now you feel like a boss. So be proud of the wins that you're getting along the way and give yourself those wins. Fear, obligation, guilt, all of these things are just tricks by the devil to try to make you think, oh, you can't do that. That's fear. You're going to fail. You're going to embarrass yourself. What are you even thinking? Come on, man. Obligation. Like, I have to keep being this person or doing this. I can't do this. I can't do that for myself. I can't act that way. I can't have that opinion. Lies. As long as it's fine with the Heavenly Father and Jesus Christ, you're good to go. Guilt. Feeling guilty. Maybe even in the other direction. Like you have to succeed right away. Guilty because you haven't done it yet. You don't love those around you. You said you were going to help them. You said you were going to retire your mother. You don't care, do you? It's the guilt. That's also taking your mental clarity and focus away, which you desperately need to actually do the thing which you care about. So, drop it. If it helps, if you can't drop it, focus on something, anything, fine-tune it. Right now I'm staring at a leaf. And then it's going to help me focus on what I'm saying without actually attaching to everything that I'm saying so desperately, clinging to every single word and its meaning. You have to, and then once you stare at the thing, then you slowly start to let yourself flow into it, like you're dancing or like you're just having fun at a birthday party and you're not thinking too much about it. This is why people access drugs and alcohol, because they're carrying around trauma loops that they're addicted to, that they're feeding and masking so that they can cope with it. And it's taking their mental clarity away. It's making it cloudier every single day. So ask yourself, what have I been holding on to? What should I forgive myself for? Even if it was something small, like not doing what you were supposed to yesterday or not hitting your goals for 2025 so far. Forgive yourself. Let go of the weight. And ask yourself, instead of yelling at yourself, what do we need to do next? You know the answer. You know what to do. Stop hesitating. You don't get the energy from thinking about it. You get the energy from getting up and doing it. And then the energy comes along the way. If you try your very hardest, then you will be surprised at the unknown allies that will meet you halfway in your journey. You'll be walking alone in the desert and meet allies halfway through who are also on the same journey, maybe to different destinations, but you cross paths in the desert. And there you can exchange resources, knowledge, hope, forgiveness. Look at everyone who ever did it. There was a time, probably a very specific day, but it's not like today and then tomorrow I am the best me. But there was a day where they decided no more and they decided to continue on that path. So drop what your new path is going to be. Like this video to push it out to more people and subscribe to the channel for more conversations like this. See you next time. I'm going to get out of here before it gets dark. Peace out.